Hello, Simerjeet. Good morning. Thank you for joining me today on my YouTube channel. I'm very grateful for your time and energy.
Thank you, Shagun, for having me. I hope you're well. It's a pleasure, and great job on creating this platform, on creating these videos, and having me as your guest today.
Thanks. Thank you so much, Simerjeet. So I'm sure all the viewers of mine would be knowing who you are because you're such a known person in this space. But I'll still give a formal introduction to the viewers. So Simerjeet is an international motivational keynote speaker with clients from his native India to Dubai, Middle East, Asia Pacific, USA, and the UK. Some of the topics he covers are building confidence, leadership in everyday life, innovation, embracing change, and personal growth. He has impacted the life of millions of people around the globe on his YouTube channel and other platforms. Today is his favorite day of the week, and now is his favorite place to be. He believes no dream is too big, no place is too small, and no time is better than now. He conducts various workshops and live sessions, the links to which I will share in the description below for the viewers to check out his videos and other free resources.
Thank you, Shagun.
Sounds good, Simerjeet. So starting with the first question. So when I was going through your background, and I was very intrigued to see that you come from a humble background. You worked in the sales industry before and many such. So what was the turning point that made you find your calling towards motivational speaking and towards helping and empowering others? How did you make money work for you, and how did you identify your career sweet spot? So that is what I call as a career sweet spot, when you know your natural abilities, when you know your interest and your passion, and you know that something, this is what the market can pay you for, and that intersection I call as a career sweet spot.
I think I'm lucky. I had the opportunity to do a lot of different jobs, many odd jobs. As a student while I was in Sydney, Australia, I've washed cars. I've been a security guard, a night security person. I worked at gas stations, especially the night shifts. I have done banquet, worked in hotels. I've been, as you rightly said, I've done sales as well, telephonic sales, door-to-door sales. And what that has given me is a rare gift, and I encourage all youngsters to do something like that. It has given me a dynamic ability to very quickly switch, to be able to change, to be able to adapt to a new job, to not have any internal inhibitions or reservations. Here's a job, you got to roll up your sleeves and you have to finish it. And you may complain about it while you're doing it, but the process of going through that, any painful process, will yield good results over the long term. And I've been blessed, and I consider myself fortunate because, in India, type in a yes in the comment section if you agree with me. In India, many of us kids were so spoiled by our parents, who would go to any length to ensure that we don't have to go through anything difficult. They'll cut back on their own expenses, and they'll do everything necessary to ensure that their children get the very best, which is great. We should be very thankful for that. However, on the flip side, there is a little bit of a disadvantage that creates for you, because the real world will not treat you like that. Your boss tomorrow will not treat you like that. Your investors tomorrow, if you're an entrepreneur, are not going to treat you like that, right? Your clients, if you run your own business, are not going to treat you like that, right? So what happens is there's this gap between how our parents treated us with unconditional love and self-sacrifice, and we go out into the real world and there's the shock. So usually the youngsters in India get that shock around 25, 26, which is a bit too late. I encourage you to get that shock earlier in life, 18, 19. Even if your parents have all the resources, go find a part-time job, go intern with somebody, get a taste of the real world. See how things happen in the real world. See what challenges your parents might be going through in order to provide you that life, and you'll have a deeper appreciation. And what you will also gain, to all the viewers, I say this, what you will gain in the process is skills, real world skills, which you cannot learn sitting in your classrooms. You cannot learn those skills from textbooks or by watching YouTube videos. Now, by all means, you must watch this video. It's going to be very, very useful for you. But sometimes you're just flipping mindlessly through Instagram reels, one after the other, another. Those things are not going to add huge value. Real world experiences are. So I'm fortunate enough to have gone through those experiences. And that's the beauty about experiences, Shagun.
Yeah.
When you go through things that you like and you go through things that you do not like, you figure out what you really want to do.
Yeah.
And that's a gradual process.
Yeah.
I love what career counselors do. I love the value they bring to the table. But there's no better career counselor than experience.
Experience.
It's only when you do it firsthand, you
Hmm.
know. You think you like coding, try it for 2 weeks. Don't just theoretically assume you'll be good at it. You want to take up law after your 10 plus 2, you want to study law. You think you'll be good at it. Maybe intern with the top lawyer in your city, see what their life is like and things like that. So for me, this came with experimentation, trial and error, and it has added to my personality, to my experience over the years. Pleasant experiences, unpleasant experiences, they all add to the beauty of life. I think it was Carl Jung who said, no tree can reach great heights unless its roots go really, really down. So the roots are the experiences of life beyond books, beyond the classroom.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very deep. I mean, early in our careers, we should all be in our exploratory phase, I feel, where you're
Hmm.
exploring, where you're just experiencing and understanding. And until unless you try, you will never know what you're good at. You will never know what's your strength and weaknesses. And half the people are
Hmm.
actually utilizing their weaknesses and exploring their careers when they should be using their strengths and outsourcing their weaknesses section. And
That's well said.
and yeah, and a lot of times, it's very difficult to move back to your career. Suppose you're in digital marketing and you feel that you're good at sales, but then you've already gone ahead with digital marketing. So if you move to sales, you either won't get any opportunity in a country like India, or you will have to start from the scratch, which again becomes difficult because you have responsibilities.
I respectfully disagree to a little bit of that. That we are now living in an economy, Shagun,
Mm.
which has evolved
Yeah.
beyond the traditional definition of careers. So if you look at the definition of what a good career would be like, maybe 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 20 years ago, you will see in India we've seen a big change in what that definition is. 20 years ago, or back in the day when my parents were working
Hmm.
before they retired, the definition of a good career was get a government job. By all means, get a government job and keep your head down. Don't stand out. Don't make, just be a good, diligent person
Hmm.
and work and retire, and that's it. Don't take any risks.
Yeah.
And as we move forward, we had the economy evolving. The 90s, the economy opened up. We had all these call centers coming in,
Hmm.
brand new economy. I was part of it. In fact, Jekis G Capital Services, when they were hiring their inaugural few batches to do this call service
Yeah.
thing, when this BPO business came to India, and I
Hmm.
had just finished my hotel management. This is 1999,
Okay.
and they came for campus recruitment. So
Oh.
here I was. I'd studied hotel management for 3 years, and I did not have I had an offer from a hotel company, the Oberoi in Rajvilas in Udaipur,
Hmm.
but I also had an offer from G Capital Services to join as a telephone associate to collect debt, unpaid debt on credit cards
Yeah.
somewhere in the US,
Yeah.
which was new. And it was so,
Yes.
I mean, I come from a small city, and people in my city could not make sense of, you studied hotel management. What are you going to do for GE? And GE at that point of time was known in India for making light bulbs. That's it.
Yeah.
So you can very well understand the level of confusion this caused for everybody who knew me. But the economy is changing now also. And what it allows you to do is, and the NEP, the National Education Policy 2020, as and when it's implemented in letter and spirit, will also allow youngsters to study in a way that they can study different subjects, computer science and
Yeah.
psychology at the same time.
Absolutely.
For Mark Zuckerberg fans would know that he had in his undergrad, before he left, he had psychology and computer science 101 at the same time. So to be
Yeah.
able to learn coding and to understand what basic human needs are,
Hmm.
and we will have that in India shortly, and the economy already encourages this.
Hmm.
If you go talk to any business leader, they want well-rounded individuals. Digital marketing, not somebody who can just edit photos or videos for me, but also somebody who can see what is the story we want to tell to our
Right.
clients,
Right.
and with
Right.
that thinking. So I encourage people to, as you rightly said, experiment.
Yeah. Yeah. And in today's time, you can explore, you can have multiple careers at the same time. Like I
Hmm.
do strategic
Hmm.
consulting, market research, as well as YouTubing, as well as content creation. Sometimes I do
Wow.
graphics also. So everything, and in today's time, you can learn pretty much everything from YouTube itself. The internet has
Hmm.
taken everything to another level now. So things have changed as, it was 10 years ago, 20 years ago.
Right.
Yeah. Simerjeet, my next question is,
Hmm.
we all feel that
Indeed.
there is always more tasks to complete. It's easy to get caught up in the trap of, getting more done, doing more, achieving
Hmm.
more, and being more successful. But what is the importance of doing nothing for at least a few minutes in this busy world? The importance of solitude, spending time alone. Because, myself, from my personal experience, I have felt the need for solitude in this busy world where you're constantly engaged in activities or social media.
Hmm.
To not do anything and just enjoy the moment. What is the importance of that, and especially in today's time?
Huge importance, and I'm so glad you raised this because um, sometimes you can be very busy doing things and not actually achieving anything much because you're not heading in the right direction.
Yeah.
And the ability to change that direction only comes through self reflection. It is only when you sit down, and I'm pretty traditional with my tools. I sit down with paper and pencil,
Mhm.
and and as you rightly said, you find a quiet spot somewhere you will not be disturbed, and then um, figure out if the direction that you're heading in is the right direction or not. If
Mhm.
it's not, no big deal. You can, what do I need to, I then have two options. Let's say I sit down with myself and I discover the direction that I'm heading in is not the direction I would like my life to go. Now I have two options. I can start complaining about it. I can start blaming other people about it. I can blame the weather, my parents, the economy, the government, etc., etc. I can start blaming. Or the third most powerful thing, I can start doing something about it.
Yeah.
Maybe I cannot change it all in one step, but I can change it step by step. So that's when the question arises, what are the first few steps you can take starting today to change the direction of your life? You don't like something in your wardrobe, you change that, right? I don't like the way I'm dressing these days. Okay, what do I do? I find I first need to get rid of the clothes. My wardrobe is, overflowing with clothes. So first I need to decide which ones I do not like. Okay, now I'm going to take them out. And this is what people who encourage decluttering or minimalism, they say, okay, take those clothes out which you do not like. Give them to somebody who might find them to useful. Now you have space in your wardrobe, the same way we create space in our mind, just like you create space in your wardrobe. And then the question arises, what would I like to wear? What will make me feel good? Okay, I would like to wear XYZ. How
Yeah.
do I procure those? I order it off an e-commerce platform, or I go to my local tailor, or I go to a, depending upon the budget, I go to a fashion label store. Wherever I go, I pick what I like.
Yeah.
And now I have a wardrobe that I like. The same thing with our life. I take away the things that I do not like or the habits that I do not like. I find a way to get rid of them. I now develop new habits. I create a new direction, and I do it one step at a time. Don't overwhelm yourself with too many things at one time. So yes, the answer to your question is a big yes. Take out the time to spend with yourself. My constant companion,
Mhm.
Shagun, even when I go for, let's say, I went internationally for a trip. I was busy for 2 days. I had 1 day spare. What
Yeah.
do I do on my spare day? Maybe go out, have a nice lunch, and do some shopping, etc. But I take my diary with me,
Yeah.
and a pencil. And what I do is, I'm having coffee, good idea emerges, I will
Yeah.
write it down.
Right.
I will write it down, and I'll now have a list of ideas. I may not be able to do all of them,
Yeah.
but at least I have something to look forward to. We, the number one reason of negativity and depression in life is we don't create things in our life to look forward to. We have to, just like little kids, we would be excited for maybe a toy my parents are going to buy for me on my birthday, or something exciting is going to happen for me. As adults, we don't invest in this process. So I don't know, is a course I'm going to complete, or I want to get my body in shape, and 6 months from now I want to look like this and I know I can get there, right? So have these sort of future goals, and then take certain pauses to check and see, great, I have this vision, I have this dream, but is my life oriented towards it or not? How I'm leading my days, when that adds up, will I get there or not? If not, what do I need to change? And solitude plays a very important role in that.
Very true. I totally agree with this, Manjeet. That's one of the concept that I live by, that sometimes you have to take a step back to actually take faster steps forward. And these
Hmm.
moments of solitude, when you're not doing anything, when you're just reflecting, you feel you're moving back because you're not doing anything. But that is
Yeah.
actually making you move forward and faster forward.
Hmm.
So thanks for your
Yeah, I
wisdom.
mean, it's no, you're welcome. And what is important is to identify. I'm an ambivert, so there are people who are extroverts who need to be out there, and there are people who are introverts. Now, and to the introverts, I'll say, push yourself to be a little bit of an extrovert. Go to that party, or go say hello to that person who you see every day at the gym but never said hi. Try it. It'll make you uncomfortable, but what you ultimately want to be is be in the middle. So recharge your batteries every now and then by having some quiet time, and then now the battery's charged. What do? So too much of isolation is also dangerous. So battery's charged, now discharge it. Go
Yes.
give something to the world. Go create a podcast like Shagun is doing. Go do something. Yeah.
Oh, great, Simerjeet. So you talk a lot about your own success. You talk a lot about taking responsibility for your own success. So, but success means different things to different people. It can mean meaningful relationships, happiness, or finding a purpose. But then, what is the
Mhm.
definition of success for you?
Let's ask our viewers today. Everybody who's watching this video or listening to this podcast, let us
Yeah.
know in the comment section. What does
Yes.
success mean to you before I answer that question?
Yes, 100%. So all the people who are going to watch this video in the future, earnest request to please share what the definition of success is for you, not what the society is deciding for you, not what your parents decide for you, but what is the definition of success for you? And let's have the conversation getting started. Yes, Simerjeet.
And I am pretty sure if the majority of you are honest, success for 99% of people means money, power, position, fame, etc., right? Um, and that's what society has conditioned us to believe what success is. Now, don't get me wrong, money is essential, power is essential.
Yeah.
All these things are important. However, they're not everything.
Hmm.
They are byproducts. Understand this. They are byproducts. Khalil Gibran, I think he said it beautifully. Fame is the shadow when passion stands in the light. And that's beautiful. That explains
Yeah.
everything. Fame
Yeah.
is the shadow of passion standing in the light. When your passion, when your inner dreams have the courage and you develop to go out and share it with the world, the shadow, the side effect of that will be fame and wealth and money and all those other things.
Yeah.
How society has conditioned us to believe in Instagram influencers, reels, everything. There is this set way of what success looks like. And if I don't have that, that means I'm not successful. If I don't have that expensive car parked outside, I'm not successful. If I don't have that huge mansion, I'm not successful, right? If I'm not drinking the best champagne on my private plane, I'm not successful. So we are now being conditioned to believe that's what success is. And it might mean that for you, but ask maybe the top soccer players in the world, ask maybe the top writers in the world, or whoever's successful, the top business persons in the world. Ask them, when they wanted to, when Zuckerberg was building perhaps Facebook, was that the vision he had? When Sam Altman was building OpenAI, was that the vision he had? When Elon Musk was building his company, Mr. Ambani was building Reliance, or Narendra Modi ji was working hard towards his dream. Did they? Were they dreaming of all these side effects? No, they were dreaming of adding value through their gifts.
Yeah.
Every one of them, right from Sachin Tendulkar with his bat,
Hmm.
to Michael Jordan with the basketball, to whoever, Sam Altman with his OpenAI project, or Elon Musk with his projects, with his rockets and his cars, they were passionate about, they found something in life and they were passionate about it. So passionate that they were able to willing, the majority of their life, they were able to willing to invest that
Yeah.
towards that. And then success happens. So I encourage everybody to understand this, that
Yeah.
all that you see on Instagram, first of
Exactly.
all, is not true,
It's
is
not
not
true.
true. Many of them are caught in their own trap. They
Yeah.
have to take out loans. Many of them, they're bankrupt. They don't have anything substantial. They are creating this lifestyle They're making money out of you. They will say, sign up for my course
Yeah.
if you want to be like this, and I'll show you how to be like this. You pay them money, and that's their only source of income.
Yeah.
The real way to make money is to add value to the world.
Yeah.
Let's say you're working for a company. If you're a good problem solver, the company is going to value you.
Yeah.
Let's say you're a solopreneur, you're a freelancer, a photographer.
Yeah.
You click the best photos for your clients. How is it you will not get rewarded for your creative work, right? Let's say you're a sports person. Let's say you're Neeraj Chopra. Let's say you're Abhinav Bindra. Let's say you're whoever you are. You focus on playing the best game you can,
Yeah.
right? Everything will come. Everything will come, and
Yeah.
that's what you need to do in order to develop that mindset. So success is being in the moment and
Yeah.
giving your best to what you have today, and tomorrow will take care of itself. Have a big plan for tomorrow, no doubt
Yeah.
about it. Absolutely, have a big plan. I am all for strategic planning and creating vision boards and all that. But don't let go of the opportunity you have today.
Yeah.
Grab this moment and give it your very best.
Yeah. Very true. Very true, Simerjeet. So, in line with just the conversation that we had, Simerjeet, right now, what life advice would you give a 25-year-old today, keeping in mind what you think you should have known or you should have done in your 20s?
That's a great question. And I'm going to throw it back at the audience once again. Tell us in the comments for all of you who are in your 40s, if you can go back into your 20s, what would you like to do differently? You know what, for me, Shagun, I think it will be to tell myself that you don't have to fit in. That you don't have to fit in. And I think in our 20s, that's the biggest mistake we make, is we feel the lot of social pressure if we are not fitting in with everybody. So for example, in Punjab, everybody wants to go to Canada today. If some youngster says, no, I don't want to go to Canada, there's like a huge sort of, oh, maybe, you don't have enough money or you're not ambitious enough. What's wrong with you? The answer is, have the courage to say,
Yeah.
I would do what I would like to do. You don't have to fit in with the crowd. And once you develop that muscle, which is very hard to develop in your 20s because you're very vulnerable to peer pressure, you want approval from your friends. This biggest drug is approval of other people. And once you slowly develop the courage to say, no, this is my life and I can live it according to my terms,
Mm-hmm.
excuse me, and my challenges are different than yours, my life is different than yours, my skills are different than yours, we can still be friends, but I will not do this just to fit in. I
Yeah.
don't like drinking alcohol. I will go to that party with you if you want me to. We'll have fun, but I don't drink alcohol. And just to give you company, I will not consume alcohol because that's who I am,
Yeah.
right? But just to fit in with the crowd, I'm not going to do those things.
Yeah.
So the more you are able to develop that muscle in your early 20s, the more successful you will be.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Simerjeet, I could resonate personally with everything you said. I think if me and you start having a conversation, it could go on for hours because there is so much to talk. There's so many topics to discuss. I feel like I want to share so many of my life examples over here, but we have limited time.
Sure.
And I totally understand. I'm sure we'll have a conversation sometime again in the future. We'll touch base again on some topics, interesting topics to talk about. But then,
Definitely.
Simerjeet, I really want to thank you for today's call. I'm sure just 20 minutes, the wisdom that you have shared will be life changing for a lot of people in their 20s and 30s. And they will, even if they inculcate 40% of what you said, it will make a big change in their life.
I'm so thrilled that we were able to have this brief conversation here today. I wish your viewers and you all the very best in adding value through this multiple mediums, and hats off to you for juggling with so many different roles and so many different things. And yeah, we could explore the option of doing a follow-up episode as well.